anger, and the anger which cannot be expressed, so that can lead to the contraction. So suppress anger or some of the fear. In the fear also, everyone can contract. So this is what the sir says that you can find out in this type of pathology. So fear in mostly boxer raises the hand in front of the face to protect. Okay. If the elastin is low, which can lead to weakness and muscles, looseness in the muscles, or hemorrhoids and prolapse, you can think of the pathology grief, worry, or shock. Mostly in camp cases, whenever we used to go to the camp, if the person having a hypotonia with a looseness and cerebral palsy, sir used to ask about what shock you had in the last 3-4 months of your pregnancy to the mother that gives rise to the laxity in the child. And if the spastic CP or the contracted CP, so sir always asks about what sort of the fright and fear in the last 3-4 months of your pregnancy. So that is what you need to find out from the mind of pathology. If we have the fibrin high, the hardening, contractions or puckering, arteriosclerosis, induration, so that means what hardness can break. So mostly the pedantic, arrogance or hard or unyielding personality, will strong personality having this kind of pathology. So mind and body tell the same language. If the fibrin is low, there is a dilatation, the bone become brittle. So this personality is soft, weak and very sensitive. These are source example. Then we go to narrow down to, these are the general understanding. Then we go narrow down to the cell. Okay. So liver is a center of metabolism. So we all know the conflict of liver is fear of starvations. There is a family conflict, a property conflict, or indigestible angry conflict. In a heart is associated with the love. So flow of love is destroyed or disabled, can lead to the pathology in the heart, or unhappy marriage life can lead to the heart attack. So bone gives you prestige, bone gives you esteem, bone gives you appreciations. So the any things happen to the devaluations of your esteem can lead to the bone pathology, or any devaluation at your existence or a respect can lead to the bone pathology. When motor neuron disease are there, the feeling of being trapped, so all nerve are associated with of being trapped. Corner of the mouth is associated with the communication, connections and relationship. Another case from the sir's understanding, a child born with the vagina without ovary and testicle without the penis. This is called ambiguous genitalia. So sir asked the mother directly, what have you got against the man? And she began to cry and said, I had always had to endure bad things from the man in my family, ever since childhood. After I got married, it was the same thing with my husband and my family. She didn't want to marry, but she was forced to, didn't want to give birth to the boy. So this is what something that she has passed informations at the identity level, and the genetic mutations has been happened. So there is a confusion at the level of cell which gives rise to identity compromise, and that confusions of sexual identity along with aversion to opposite sex. So this is what Sir's understanding of mind of pathology and few of the example. Hope you all get a few idea of Sir's understanding. Now we have to narrow down to the cell and find out the perceptions in the pathology. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. So let's move ahead. So what Sir always says that mind and body speak the same language. So what is this? Why this idea came to me to understand the cellular mechanism? I was reading Sir's case in some of the website or a journal where the case of the cancer in which Sir is prescribed on the basis of dispositions and there is indiscretions and everything. Sir has prescribed Baraita carb to that patient. And after prescriptions, Baraita carb did not help within 3 months and the cancer has been progressing. So what Sir has seen the cancer's report, and after seeing the report shows there is a symmetrical margins in the cellular mechanisms and everything. So Sir says that this cancer, even though person is indiscretions, but the cell at the cancer is very symmetrical, meticulous, and particular. So by looking into this case, what Sir has prescribed, I need to treat the body. So Sir has prescribed yes, absolutely, Dr. Monica. It was a fastidious cancer, and Sir has prescribed arsenic to that patient. And after prescription of the arsenic, the patient was absolutely well and his cancer went away. So this led me to understand that if we understand the report and the cell, and on the basis of cell, if we prescribe the mind symptoms from the mind symptoms of the cell will reverse and it become normal. So this is what led me to understand the finer version of mind of pathology into cell psychobiodynamics. So Sir always says that mind and body speak the same language. So same things, the body tells you the language of the mind. So pick up that language and prescribe. So we going further into this, as we all know that the most disease are produced by the sufficient disturbances at the vital force, and that is because of imagination, and also cured by the same means. So we all know that the mind is the creator and body is the receiver. Okay, so whenever the body has something, the effect, we need to find out the creator problem. So yes, absolutely, body never lies, pathology never lies. So this is what my effort of understanding cell at a micro level and narrow down the rubrics. So from this conclusion, we consider man is equal to cell. Are you all agree with this?
Yes.
Are you all agree with this?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So man is equal to cell. So if we understand the cell, we understand the man. And what is the law of treat the man in disease, not the disease in man? So we need to understand the treat the cell in defense, not the disease. Okay, so we need to treat the cell. Yes, biology ability. Every books I have read many books and will share with you the knowledge. So this is what, so cell in the disease is equal to man in the disease, cell in the health is equal to man in the health. The restoration of the cell lead to the restoration of the man. So my aim is to remove the cell perceptions. What Sir has did in arsenic case, remove the cell perceptions, cell become normal. The same way remove the cell perception, restoration of the cell leading to health. So why we need to treat this? So if we need to treat the disease, we cannot get the idea. But if we need to treat the man, we can get the idea. So man is composed of what? Senses, intellect, decision making, attitudes, add up to circumstances. Same way the cell has a senses, cell has an intellect, and the decision making add up to epigenetic stress. So treat the man is equal to treat the cell or alter perception of the cell. So what are the book that will gives you a guide about this is what I have read many books, and after that core idea of that books will give you all the books. So this is what the food for thoughts for all of you. The first big book is Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. He said that the cell membrane functions like a brain, responding to the environmental perceptions, emotions, and then subconscious mind program the biology. So this is what Bruce Lipton said. The moment you change your perception, the moment you rewrite the chemistry of your body, the same things happen. What you say that if you remove the imagination, the cure will happen. Aphorism number 16, footnote 9. Does someone ask for previous slide? as the previous slide is treat the man, treat the cell. The second book which gives me idea about this is The Molecules of Emotions by the Candace B. Pert. She is a renowned molecular biologist, and she had understood the emotions. So she said that the neurotransmitter and the peptide act as a messenger of emotions and are found in every cell. So body is the subconscious storage of unprocessed emotional data. The very beautiful quote is written in this book is your body is your subconscious mind. So what we are dealing with is when we treat the persons, we need to treat the subconscious perception in the person. So when we treat the subconscious person, we need to understand the body. So here Candace B. Pert says your body is your subconscious mind. Another book is from the Deepak Chopra, The Quantum Healing, says that and another book is Ageless Body, Timeless Mind. The body projection of consciousness, and every cell is influenced by our belief, thought, and awareness. So the things is every cell in your body is eavesdropping on your throat. That means what you think, what is your cell is. This is what the Deepak Chopra says. Joe Dispenza says in placebo book Mind Over Matter. So all this is helping you to understand the cellular mechanism. I will show you another book. As you all know, we have beautifully used the understanding of the Dr. Rigrid Hammer, German New Medicine, the concept of biological conflict, which can lead to the development of the cell loss or cell augmentations as an effect from the embryological layer. So this is what the linking between the psyche, brain, and organs and the body. Another book from the Gabermat says that the emotional repressions or trauma are stored in the body and manifest as a chronic disease. This is very important in ancestral history. The mother has suppressed some emotions, mother has stored some emotions, that emotion is expressed in the child after the birth or some lineage also. So that is what something you have to understand, that why it is happening in this lineage. So this book also gives you the mind of cell. All you know the Louis here, she said about the all the causes and the perceptions. The Kybalion and Hermetic text says that very important is the old spiritual text says that as above, so below, as within, so without. That means what? The human is a microcosmos of the universe. The internal world reflects the external world mentally, emotionally, and physically. So same way the microcosmos or microcosm is equal to macrocosm. So cell is equal to man. Deb Shapiro, another book, he had beautifully given the feelings and emotion associated with the particular pathology and disease. You can read these all books. Man and His Symbol by Carl Jung, the psychologist, who says bodies speak the language of unconsciousness. Okay. This Anodia Judis also says about the chakras bridging between the physical, emotional, and spiritual layer. Divine Matrix by Greg Baden, the power of imagination as the essence of our existence. So I'm not going into detail, but you just click the photo so you can have a. So other sources, if the cell-mind correlation is the epigenetic study by the scientist Dr. Elizabeth, shows the gene expression influenced by the thoughts and emotions. So all are convinced that our biography become our biology. Another books which I have not mentioned in this is yes, subconscious mind is a moon. Yeah, everyone has some philosophy. Another book I had not written in this, but this is what another book you can take a secret language of the cells. So cell communicate with the different cells by the John Leaf, and it was understanding that the how cell perceive. So body is the unconscious mind, as within so without. Now what sir says, that sir always says body speak the same language. So core idea is cell has a mind that perceive and react based on miasmatic and subconscious imprinting. Pathology begins with the altered perceptions. So mind of the cell, perceptions, altered functions or sensations, and then the disease. So this is what the map of cell. So I'm going little bit faster in this because this is little a theory so that it will help you. So in homeopathy, we use a case entry point from the rubrics of the mind to the disease pathology. So what is my aim is, whenever you have some mental rubric, you can think that this rubric can be what type of cellular mechanism it can produce. So you have to do the exercise for that, and then it is decoded. So the man can be decoded from the disease only. And when you remove that perceptions, it can cure the disease. So everyone knows that cell has a consciousness, cell has a senses, cell has a adaptive intelligence. So when this intelligence is adaptive, it is affected by some other stimuli, it can adapt to the other defense mechanism. Okay. So cellular perception leading to change in the signaling, and that signaling leading to the biological response into immune modulation. So whenever the sense is altered, for example, in autoimmunity, sense is altered, so it is defending against self, leading to autoimmunity. Okay. Cellular decision making also like the same, that is apoptosis, autophagy, and proliferations are the adaptive response when the cell choice in survival dynamics. So cell is like this. So mind of pathology at cellular level refer to the how cell exhibit psychological behavior that contribute to the disease development. So sir always says that cell exhibit behavior that parallel human psychological state. Same thing in mind and body speak the same language. So this slide is a crux of all this. So if the psoric defense mechanism is there, cell must be in hypersensitive or over alertness, leading to allergies and initial autoimmune response. If a cell in some fixations or some overcompensations or excessive growth lead to chronic disease and benign tumor, it is a psychotic. When cell loses own identity, there is a distortion in the signal or misinterpretations leading to autoimmunity and change in the hormonal imbalance. It can lead to psychosyphilitic. And when the cell break is fail or either cell function is destroyed, it can lead to irreversible destructions, can lead to necrosis or cancer and neurodegeneration. So if we understand cellular mechanism, then and then we can understand the mind of pathology. So same things, imaginations, so I am skipping that. As you all know from the Hammer's theory, when you having a affection of the right side of the body, you can ask about the conflict in the husband and partners and everything. When the conflict in the left side, disease in the left side, you ask about the children, siblings, families, and pet. So let's learn the rubric of mind to cell pathology pattern. So as we know in SCPH class, what sir has taught us, the importance of hierarchy of the syphilitic symptoms, from the life existence to the identity to the sexual identity to the central axis and balance, followed by body parts development in first 4 months, followed by the vital force or entry of the force, then senses, then birth, and then the emotions and the respiratory and everything. So this is what a hierarchy of the things you can understand in the particular syphilitic hierarchy. So any disease which affecting the life and going toward the death, that is the given most important. So sir has given the most important aspect to the rubric of death. Death desire, death thought of, death conviction of, death predictions. That is what we have to understand. So existence is equal to life. So every human cell has to survive, and every human cell has a life, and that life has to evolve, and that life has to adapt to the environment. So if I cannot adapt to the environment, my life is hostile, and that lead to destructions. So you all know the thermodynamics law number 2, that everyone is going toward degradation. So the cell also going toward degradation, but to survive more or exist more, cell has to adapt. Okay, so if existence is attacked by some of the destructive pathology, then you can think of this type of rubric at the level of mind. See, if it is a direct destructions at the level of mind, okay, and sudden and fast, you can think of the suicidal dispositions, that thought of, that presentiment, impulse to kill oneself, insanity, suicidal. These are the frank syphilitic. And when the existence is attacked by indirect way, that means there is a damage to the growth axis, there is a damage to the cellular mechanism leading to malignancy and tumor, and then life is in danger. This is psychosyphilitic. So you, at that time, you have to think another rubric. So I will share with you the cases. Most of time you can find out that during the COVID era, what sir has given the approach to the COVID patients, which goes into land up into ICU, and after that ICU land up, the patient goes into a breathlessness, or loss of oxygenations and everything. That means the existence is compromised. So in that cases of COVID era, sir has given us the idea that the patient's cells started going towards the destructions, and that destructions is not in control. It is called insanity. So rubric sir has suggested during COVID is insanity, suicidal, and the remedy which was prescribed in many COVID patient in ICU is Veratrum alb. Veratrum alb 50 m repeated doses brings many patients from the ICU to the normalcy with this rubric, because this is the existence of the person is compromised due to that COVID. So this is the real life examples which help you to practice. Now, my core idea of applications of identity rubric in many cases. So this is very important in the whole day of our learning, and you can apply this rubric in a lot of cases. And lot of cases I had retrospectively study from the sir's cases, Amrit sir cases, and our camp cases also. We can learn this rubric beautifully and we get a lot of reason. So identity is most important for each and every cell. So what we can think of rubric comes into your mind when you think of identity. What rubric can be in your mind about identity? Tell me. Very good. Confusion of identity. Absolutely. Very good. Error of personal. Head belongs to other. Confusion, sensation, duality, dual personality, depersonalizations. Then head belongs to other, under control of someone else, superhuman being. Homosexuality. Very good. Sexual identity has been compromised. Delusion existed in another person's. Delusion God. Very good. Communication in God. So you all come to the conclusion that identity has lot of rubric. Absolutely right. Loss of identity feels as if perfect. That masculinity increase. So mannish habit, effeminate. It is also a rubric of identity. So food for thought is you need to find out identity is a big chapter. You know. So common rubric which we encounter is antagonism with herself, autoimmune identity rubric. Okay. Second rubric commonly you can find out in many cases, that is confusion of identity as to his. Will contradictions of head belongs to another? Absolutely right. So we will have the confusion of identity as to duality, sense of delusion, body divided, head separated from the body, memory weakness, names own name, stranger sensations, thoughts persistent separated, will, two thoughts strain of, will to will sensation of, and many more as you have experienced. So today we focus on only one rubric, and in how many cases of your practice this rubric has to be applied as a mind of pathology, cell psychobiodynamics. Okay, so the first rubric is identity. Identity gives you a name. Identity gives you a gender, either as a male or female. Identity gives you a family, a role in the family. Identity gives you a positions, either you are in the corporate, either you are in the smaller job. Identity gives your own definitions, the self definitions. Identity gives you belonging. For example, the persons belong to certain community is their identity. Okay, so identity become their inner identity, belongings, and identity gives you boundary. For example, India and Pakistan, so Indian nationality and the Pakistan nationality. So that is identity gives you boundary. So whenever anything happen in this cell level, according to this, you can think of this rubric. I will give you example so that you can match the mind of pathology, cell psychobiodynamics to the rubrics. So in what pathology you can think of identity related rubric? Tell me. In what type of pathology you can think of identity rubric related? This
Sir,
rubric will be
osteoarthritis.
considered. PCOS, absolutely PCOS. Some says that this all are rubric coming from DNA lineage. Yes. Okay. Hair fall,
Osteoarthritis.
infertility, alopecia, infertility, tumor, general, Down syndrome. Yes. CKD, mutations. Very good. Good. So now I understand that all are going in the right direction of thought process, so that all can correlate with this. So this is what, so identity associated with the face. So any pathology happening on the face, you can think of identity. It may be acne, it may be a scar, it may be a keloid, it may be a hemangioma, then also you can think of. Okay, someone has chat. Yes, cleft lip. Yes, cleft lip can be think of. Melasma. Yes, melasma is identity. So identity associated with the head. Again, see, if everyone has to be bald, do you identify? No. So your head and hair is most important. So hair gives you identity, head gives you identity. If your head is cut off, do you get identified? No. So any pathology related to head or hair you can think of. Skin, the skin also gives you identity, that is you are from belonging from this race or other races. So any pathology related to the skin can be think of identity. Yes, vitiligo can be one of the. Then hair, so in hair you can think of the pathology related to hair, also there is a identity. Even ovary and the testis, so ovary gives the identity as a female, testis gives identity as a male. So this also very important, the pathology associated with the ovary and testis is identity. So most of cases, whenever this is the evolutionary study, the previous case of oligoasthenospermia, we have learned that in that case we have taken aspermatism. But now if any cases comes to us of low sperm count and everything, that means the problem in their own masculine identity. Am I male or not? Am I reproducing or not? So that is what the pathology associated with the